Hey family, welcome to So Easy with Shelby and Gabbie. I'm your host, Kay Stewart, and my mission is to show you fun and easy designs that you can do from home. So grab you some fabric and get you some scissors and let's get started. Today's project we're going to do is leggings. And I've seen a lot of material in the fabric store that I said these would look wonderful if they were in leggings. And I just happened to be in the fabric store and I found this camouflage material here. And as you can see, the camouflage material, it also has some stretch to it. So, and it has a little sheen to it. So it's not just like that army fatigue with no type of thing. Like I said, because of the sheen, you can dress this up or dress this down. And I kept thinking to myself, these would be the perfect tights. I have to get this material. So I absolutely picked it up and said, these are going to be my tights. So let's begin. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need an old pair of tights. And I'm using these pair of tights because these tights used to fit me really, really well. But they got a little short. You know how you wear tights for a while and then they started shrinking on you. Well, as far as the size with the legs and everything, they were perfect. So these are the tights I'm going to use. What you're going to do is you're going to take the inside of your tight and you're going to cut it on the seam. And you're just going to open your pants all the way up. So as you can see, these would be my tights if they were sewn together. These would be the tights if they were sewn together. So what I did was I just took my scissors and I went straight down the seam with it and it opens up. And it'll open up like this. So what you'll have is your tights like this. But as you can see, the middle is open. So we're going to use these. Like I said, I'm going to use these as my example. Excuse me. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the tights and we're going to put them side by side like this. So that this is what you have when you open it up. You're going to have, this is your best back part here. And this is what it'll look like when you open up your tights. And this, like I said, this is what we're going to use as our pattern. Okay, so now we're going to take our material right sides together. And like I said, you want to make sure that your stretch, as you're going with the stretch, you don't want to go against the stretch. Because when you put the pants on, you want to make sure that your stretch is going horizontal, not vertical, because you don't need it vertical, you need it horizontal, so your legs can fit inside. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this and we have right sides together. And we have our pattern and we're going to lay it out flat. And as you can see, I've left enough room on the top. Up here, you want to make sure that you leave at least 2 inches because I'm going to be using 1 inch elastic. I'm going to be using a 1 inch elastic in my waist. So you want to leave about 2 inches because when you fold that down, this is where your elastic casing is going to go. So you want to make sure you do that. And you also want to make sure you leave about 5/8 of an inch seam allowance when you're sewing, when you're cutting your pattern out, because you want to make sure you have enough room to sew this. Like I said, these pants fit me perfectly. So all I'm going to need is about 5/8 of an inch seam allowance when I'm cutting down. If you are making this for someone else and you think that they're going to, and they're a different size than what you wear, then what you want to do is you want to go from your waist here, and whatever the difference is in their waist and yours is where you want to make your cut. And don't forget, you want to take their waist, the difference of their waist and yours, plus 5/8 of an inch seam allowance, and then you're going to make your cuts from there. So we're going to start now, and let's get this cut out. Okay, we're back, and now that we have our pattern cut out, we're going to begin to sew. First thing you want to do is you want to grab your pins, because the first thing we want to do is we want to pin from this area here all the way to the top of your waist. And this here is your back area, and you can tell because there's a lot more fabric here than it is on this side, and that's because you have a little package in the back. So you want to make sure that your package is covered. So we're going to pin this. Going to pin this down want to pin it all the way up to the waist. Like I said, you want to go from the top all the way to the bottom. And then we're also going to do this side as well. And again, you're just going to do from here to there. Okay, now that we have both sides pinned together, what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the sewing machine and we're going to sew where you have it pinned. And again, you want to sew from the top of your waist all the way down to the bottom of your backside area. And then you're also going to sew this side, which is the top of here, all the way down to there. And then we'll come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we're here with Gabbie, and we're going to begin. And Gabbie is my serger, so she's going to finish off the ends once I finish sewing this. So we're going to start. You want to make sure you take your pants out because you don't want to break your needle. You always want to leave a tail when you're using your serger. Leave a tail for the machine. We're going to cut this off, and then we're going to do the next side. And as you can see with the serger, you have a really nice finished edge there, so you won't have to worry about any seams coming loose or anything because it's nice and finished. So we're going to go back over to the table and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so you're probably thinking, what has she gotten me into? Because these are not looking anything like tights. And you're correct, because this is your finished product after we've come back from the sewing machine. Remember, we only sew from the crotch to your waist and from your waist to the backside of your backside area. So this is your finished product right now. Doesn't look much like tights, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to take our fabric and we're going to open it up and we're going to put those two seams that you just sewn and we're going to match them up together, right side facing. And guess what? Voila! Okay, we're back. So the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to take our crotch area and you want to make sure that the front seam and the back seam are matching, and you want to lay them down. You want to lay one down one side and one the other side when you're pinning, because you want to make sure that you get a nice flat edge when you're finished sewing your tights. So we're going to put a pin right there in the middle. As you can see, my seams are matching in the front and the back, and I've laid them down so that when I sew across here, there won't be anything poking out. It'll be a nice flat edge. And then what you're going to do is you're going to continue pinning. You're going to pin down the both sides of your leg. So as you can see, I've already started pinning here. And you're going to pin all the way down to the end of your leg. So we're going to do that. So you're going to just make sure that your sides are matching. And you're going to take a pin and we're going to pin it. You want to do the other side as well. And again, you want to just make sure your right sides are facing each other. And you're going to pin it. So that your material stays together. Pins are good when you're just beginning sewing because it will keep your fabric from moving around. I don't always pin, but I'm going to pin for all of my videos so that you will know what you need to do when you pin. Now that we've pinned all the way down to the end, what you're going to do is you're going to take this to your machine. And again, here's your tights. Voila. And we're going to pin those all the way. I mean, not pin, I'm sorry. We're not going to pin. We're going to take, and you're going to take from your sewing machine, and you're going to go from the bottom of this leg, and you're going to go all the way up to your crotch area, and then you're going to come down the other side. So again, you're going to go to your machine, and you're going to take, and you're going to start from this leg and go all the way up, and you're going to come back down the other side. I'm going to do that, and I'll be back and show you the end results. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I've sewn the inside of my tights, so they are really now beginning to start look more and more like tights. So let's finish this off. The next area we want to concentrate on is our waist. And the way I'm going to put my elastic in my waist today is, first off, you want to use an elastic. I'm using a 1-inch elastic. And you want to take your waist size and you want to minus 4 inches. And that's what you're going to need when you put an elastic. And that way there's a nice snug and tight fit here. So you don't have to worry about anything falling out or being too loose. But what I'm going to do today is, instead of doing the traditional casing, I'm going to actually attach my elastic to my tights. And then I'm going to, once I've done that, I'm going to flip it over. We're going to use a zigzag stitch so that you don't have to worry about this stitches breaking when you actually put the pants on. But again, I'm going to actually attach this to my pants, and I'm going to use my serger. If you don't have a serger, it's okay, just use your sewing machine. But one thing you want to remember is that when you're sewing your elastic to your material, you want to make sure that you're stretching it as you're sewing. And then once we're done with that, it's going to be attached to the top, and we're going to take it and we're just going to fold it down like this once it's on, and then we'll do a zigzag stitch on the bottom. But we're going to go to the machines and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Okay, we're back, and I've already gone and I've sewn my elastic onto the top of my material. And I did do a video, but it came out too dark, so you wouldn't be able to see how I did it. But the key to sewing your elastic straight onto your material is you want to make sure that you're stretching your elastic while you're sewing it down to your material. Again, you want to make sure that you're pulling your elastic all the way out while you're sewing it to your material. And that way it will give you the natural gather that it already needs when you're doing it on your fabric. So our next step is to finish off our tights is we're going to take that edge that we've already sewn down and we're going to fold it under just once like this. And again, I'm going to pin just to show you what it looks like. And we're going to take this over to the machine and you're going to do a zigzag stitch here at the bottom all the way across until the end. Again, you want to do a zigzag stitch across. And then also you want to make sure that you're stretching your elastic while you're doing a zigzag stitch, and that way you're not popping any threads when you go to actually put the garment on. So again, you want to stretch this out, you want to do a zigzag stitch across the bottom, and I'll come back and show you how to finish these off. Thanks. Okay, we're back, and I've already put my zigzag stitch across the bottom. And like I said, you want to make sure that when you're sewing your elastic to your material that you're stretching your garment as you do, and that way there's no pop threads when you actually go to put your garment on. The last thing we need to do now is we're going to put a hem in the bottom of our pants. We're going to use the same zigzag stitch we used at the top. And I want my hem, because these pants are going to be shorter, they're just going to be below my knee just a bit. I want my hem to be about 1/2 inch. And if you're ever wondering what this was that was in your sewing kit, this is good for hems. And that way you'll make sure that all your hems are the same length, same size all the way around. So I have it set for 1/2 inch because that's how big I want my hem to be. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this over about 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to fold down again. Fold this over like that. And I'm going to fold it down again. And I'm going to put a pin in it so that it doesn't move out of place. As you can see, I'm putting the pin in it there so it doesn't move out of place. Now what you want to do is you want to take your gauge and you want to put it there. And as you can see, I have 1/2 inch. So I have this right size hem that I want, and I'm going to have that hem all the way across. So what you're going to do is, again, you're going to fold it under twice like this, and we're going to pin it down. just like that. And you're going to do that all the way across. And you want to make sure that when you're sewing your hem at the bottom of your pants, that you also want to stretch this out as well, and that way you don't have any popped strings when you go to put your garment on. So again, you want to go all the way across like that, fold under twice. I'm going to put a pin there. And keep going, doing this all the way around. And again, as you can see, when you use your gauge, it's a 1/2 inch all the way around, so that you know that your hem is the same size all the way around your pants. I'm going to complete this, and I'll show you how I'm going to style this garment when I put this on. Okay, we're back, and our pants are now complete. And as you can see, we have some really cute stretch camo pants. I can't wait to put these on. I'm actually going to put them on and show you how I'm going to style them. And you may have some different ways that you want to style them. But I hope this project has been so easy with Shelby and Gabbie, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.